Easy now and welcome. Today I'm going to try and repair this Acer Aspire 5542. I'll give you a quick demonstration of what's happening. You plug it in or put a battery in it, whichever. You turn it on. You get one click and then nothing. The screen does not turn on at all. It doesn't seem to be working. There's no fan noise. So it looks like it's starting but not booting. I think this might be down to the CMOS battery or the BIOS battery. So I'm going to have a look, but it's not a simple fix on this because you have to pretty much strip the laptop to pieces. So let's see how we go and see if a little battery is going to fix my laptop or whether we need to get a new one. So safety first, remove the battery, remove it from the mains and hold down the power button for at least 45 seconds to a minute, and that should help discharge any power that are left in the capacitors, and then we can turn it over and start taking it to bits. First things first, we'll take off the cover here and remove the memory, and then we'll move on and remove the cover here. So I'll take those screws out and show you. So one of the memory strips is taken off. It's so easy to do. There's these little tabs here. You just release them on either side. And then your memory pops up. You can remove it and put it somewhere safe. So once you've got the centre panel off, remove the single screw here, and you can pull out your hard drive, and then you can unclip the little wire there, both of those, and undo the screw to remove the Wi-Fi board. Once you've undone the screw, your hard drive simply slides down and then can be removed and put somewhere safely. So once you undo the screw on the little Wi-Fi board, it sticks up so you can unclip it. So make sure you undo the two little wires carefully, and then you can remove the board. Get a little screwdriver and they'll be easier rather than trying to faff around with one hand. So yeah, tiny little screwdriver and they'll help lift it up and then unslide the board from there. This board can be a little bit tricky, so maybe get a pair of tweezers and just ease it out, and then as you see it's fully removed, and just leave. I nearly swapped it back in, silly. Right, there we go. So leave the wires there and put this somewhere safe. Next thing to do is remove the CD drive. I believe, yeah, it's strange, you literally just pull on it and out it comes. Next thing we're going to do is go around, take out all the external screws. I believe there's one in here, we'll see when we get to it, and we're going to have to remove this one here as well, but just the side ones, let's get them out. Okay, so just beware, there isn't a screw in there. Don't try and do screws in there, there isn't any. Once you've undone all the screws, we turn it over and try and remove the top panel. So what we're doing here is using a separator tool to just lift this up. It sort of unclips as you go along all the way to the other side. Let me get it out for you. Very simply, as you're going along, you just lift it up and it comes up all the way across. Like so. I didn't think I could do it one-handed. I'll do the fine thing with it out of the way with one hand. When you've undone that, flip it over and undo the little ribbon cable there, and then you can remove the top panel. So once you've pulled out the ribbon cable carefully, we can remove this panel out of the way, and then we're on to the keyboard, and there's tabs that run along the top edge of the keyboard here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you just pop those tabs up and the keyboard should lift up and slide backwards and out. So the little tabs at the top are easy enough to do. The keyboard will still be jammed, and what there is there's a little hidden one down the side. You hold the key back and you can see a little silver one, and you pop that down and that properly lifts it up. And the same on this side, just behind the tab key there's a little tab. So hold the tab key down, press that tab, and the keyboard will lift up. One key's come off, but it's easy to just click it back on. Fully unclipped, fold the keypad forward, undo the ribbon cable and remove the keypad. Unfortunately, I'm still nowhere near getting to the battery yet. To remove the ribbon cable, you just lift the black piece up, which releases it. It will be stuck to one of these connections here, so just carefully unpeel it and then remove the keypad. So now we're going to remove this connection and pull it back through so we get access. We're going to remove this connection here, and we're going to remove this connection up here, and then we'll undo the screen, I think. Okay, so we did this one, pulled it back through, left it on the board. I pulled the aerials, they literally go straight through there and plug in, pulled them out and unlaced them, so that should give freedom on the board. And I've removed this big connector here, which I believe is for the screen. So now I can undo these two screws on either side, take the screen off, and then I should be able to remove this base plate, and I'm hoping the battery is under here somewhere. So let's go for it. Screws, make sure everything was unclipped. The screen just comes away in your hand and then can be removed for storage. Gone. I removed this little plug here because it's connected to this little speaker that's on this plastic shroud. I didn't want it to pull when I came to undo it. It's revealed a few screws, 3 screws on the back there. I believe if I undo that, this top panel should unclip. So let's see. So initially just lift off the shoe at the back. That'll make the back become loose. And as you work round, put some sort of removal tool. One of these plastic tools is great. You can put that down in there and unclip that, and then use it to go around the edge and continue to remove the front panel. Okay, finished unclipping all the way around. Moment of truth. This plastic all lifts off, revealing the all-important battery. So we can get the battery out, blow it all through, get rid of some of this dust, and then start putting it back together. So obviously the reverse of the disassembly is how to put it back together. So skip forward in the video if you don't need to see this, but I'll just quickly run through it, put it back together. Replace the battery, put the top back on, click it back in place all the way around, put the 3 screws in at the back, and then I'll do another little quick. At the point we reconnect things we've disconnected, so we feed that back through and under and connect that. Reconnect the little black and red wire here, and then we reconnect the speaker wire there. So once you've checked all your connections, made sure everything's in tight and how it should be, put the 3 screws in the back, you bring your screen back, put your screen in position, and you redo the 2 screws on the sides, and then you rethread your wires for your aerial and your Wi-Fi. You rethread them back through and poke them through there. Stage, you also want to plug in the wire for the screen, obviously before you screw it down and get it into place too much. All connected, all reattached, rerouted, and the wires where they need to go. Now we move on to the keyboard. As we know, it slots in from the bottom, and it has a big ribbon cable there which goes into the board, so we need to sort of put it in and be a bit careful and then slide it into place. So carefully reattach the ribbon cable at the front of the keyboard in on its little lugs, and then it just clicks back down into place on the sides and the ones at the back. Next up is the top trim panel. Lay it forward, attach the ribbon cable, and then click it back into position on the lugs, as you can see on the front. Push it down all the way along, clip it all into place so it's nice and tight. Keyboard should be nice and flush. The panel should all fit perfectly with no gaps. Shouldn't be up, shouldn't be groaning, it shouldn't be loose. Once you get to this stage, you shouldn't really need any more help, but we'll carry on. Turn it over, and we'll put all the screws back in around the outside. Then we'll put back in the Wi-Fi board, the hard drive, and the memory. Put the panels back on. Fingers crossed, turn it on, and it might work. Firstly, we'll reinstall the Wi-Fi chip, make sure it goes in properly, There's a little screw, remember, and the wires, the white one goes on the top aerial and the black one is for the bottom aerial. Let's get them in focus. Well, there you go. So put that in first, connect the wires and screw it down. Yeah, that's installed how it should be. Next up we have the hard drive. Fits in place and slides into position, and then a tiny little screw holds it in place there. There's the CD drive. Make sure you have it orientated the right way, and it should slide in, and there we go, in position, ready for the screw to hold it in place. Now we'll just put the 2 memory chips in. So obviously we do the bottom one first, and basically it goes into position, and then you press it down until the little clips come over, and then the second one is the same. So again, slightly raised, press it down, click click, lock lock. Now we can put the covers back over. Everything's back together, the panel's back on. Turn it over, put a battery in it, and let's see if we fixed it. Step, put a battery in. A little bit nervous, but I'm pretty certain that that's what the problem was with the laptop. We shall see. Let's hope for the best. Promising noises. We've got screen. We fixed it. Less than £1 for a battery. 15 minutes work at the most. And we have repaired the laptop from complete and utterly dead and will not start no matter what you try and do. Just a black screen, and we've complete and utterly fixed it. So there you have it. Stay tuned, subscribe, like and share.